Harry's Wife, Part 101.93. No news? Bring up the past. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. One of the things that the narcissists will do is bring up the past. This isn't because it's being done because of nostalgia or reminiscing. It's done by utilizing a past event for the purposes of controlling the now. The default setting for the narcissist is that once something has happened, it's done, it's dealt with, it falls off the cliff, it vanishes into the ether, and it's forgotten about until such time as the narcissism determines that it needs to be resurrected as part of the manipulation of bringing up the past. Sometimes this is done in a benign way. Oh, darling, do you remember that time when we went to the Maldives? Didn't we have a wonderful time? And that supposedly favourable reminiscence about that trip to the Maldives is mentioned, causing the intimate partner primary source, who is no doubt in a respite period, to respond favourably, thus demonstrating they're under control and providing fuel to the narcissist. More commonly, the narcissist brings up the past in a way to cause a problem for the person that they're dealing with, again done to assert control and draw fuel, as part of either a corrective devaluation or, where dealing with an intimate partner primary source, a sustained devaluation. This behaviour might be bringing something up legitimately that occurred, but thought had been resolved. So, referring to a discussion that might have been had a few days ago about the prospect of going away somewhere, which you understood had been debated, discussed and resolved, not according to the narcissist, it can be brought up again, because we always have that right to do so. In some instances, it could be something from years ago that is resurrected. Nothing is ever buried dead with us. In other instances, it might be something that didn't actually happen that is resurrected. So you both have a revision of history allied with bringing up the invented past. This becomes particularly confusing for the victim. The use of the past is done to control the now. And as we know, with Harry's wife, as the Duchess Industrial of Beige, she has very little that she can actually talk about because she has no real talent. And accordingly, in order to keep maintaining control and nullifying potential threats to control, her PR agency, whoever it is these days, is issued with the instruction to ensure that there are repeated puff pieces released, whether it's ridiculous fashion items in Hello, whether it is speculation about something that might happen in Cosmopolitan, whether it's resurrecting some old words that she said in the past around her engagement interview. The supine publications are charged with doing that in order to provide filler while she's not actually doing anything at the current time. And we have another example of this, and as fair warning, you may feel yourself being sucked inwards like a deflating balloon as you have to endure this tripe. Nevertheless, it's instructive for understanding more about what a narcissist will do, and in particular with regard to Harry's wife. This appears in The Mirror, which, as you know, is amongst the stable of supine publications. And an article by Milo Boyd tells us, Harry's wife says her favourite holiday spot is affordable and invigorating. Well, you can all thank your own personal gods as a consequence of St. Harry's wife determining that my favourite holiday spot is affordable and invigorating. I'm sure that you all feel suitably buoyed by that proclamation by the unholy one. Harry's wife revealed that her favourite holiday destination is surprisingly affordable and not too far from the United Kingdom. Before joining the royal family, the Duchess of Sussex frequently travelled the world, visiting many countries as a single woman and with her former husband. Triangulation with places, triangulation with person. The Suits actor, we'd forgotten that she was on that show, thank you for reminding us, used to share holiday tips on her lifestyle blog, The Tig, where she described one of her favourite holiday destinations as invigorating. Notice the Tig has been defunct for a number of years. If you would like a really good chortle as you head into the end of the week, I would recommend that you find the playlist The Stig, where I parody extracts from the Tig. But here, because there's nothing for her to mention about in the current time, but there is a necessity to assert control, something from years ago, which has already been dealt with, already been read, already been digested, is resurrected in order to keep her supposedly relevant. Harry's wife wrote, "There have been some lofty travel goals set in my wanderlust-filled life. But 48 hours in Istanbul was perhaps the most ambitious. It's Istanbul, after all, with its grand bazaar, over 3,000 mosques to explore, rugs to strategically schlep back home, baklava to devour, culture-filled neighbourhoods. The requisite hammam you simply must try, and oh yeah, that big old Bosphorus. Case in point, there's a lot to squeeze in." Now, I don't know if Harry's wife has been to Istanbul, but it wouldn't surprise me if she hasn't been there and is engaging in character trait acquisition. As you'll have seen, if you've read part of the Tig, or if you've listened to my parody of it in the Stig, there are numerous occasions where it's clearly debatable whether she's attended certain places and has just looked them up on the internet. Remember, Tom Bauer in Revenge did make mention of the fact that she spent a hell of a lot of time poring over the internet, creating the Tig. And it would not be beyond a narcissist, of course, to claim to visit somewhere when they haven't done so and acquire character traits from somebody else's article in order to pass them off as if they've visited themselves. That's actually quite common for a narcissist to claim they've been somewhere when they haven't, utilising somebody else's trip. The article continues. "The cultural capital of Turkey is split in two by the Bosphorus Sea Strait, with each side of the bank having its own unique character," the Daily Express reports. Harry's wife continued, "Equal parts invigorating and dizzying 48 hours in Istanbul is indeed an undertaking. Rest assured, your head will be spinning with Turkish delight once back on the plane, but undoubtedly worth every singular moment." The Duchess of Sussex said she enjoyed exploring Istanbul's Grand Bazaar during her whistle-stop trip. One of the oldest covered markets in the world, tourists can purchase spices, rugs, and everything under the sun in the maze-like shopping area. The Duchess of Sussex also likely visited, so that's just pure speculation, some of the city's mosques, many of which enjoy world-famous reputations and are almost unrivaled in their splendour. I mean, why don't you say the Duchess of Sussex negotiated a peace treaty while she was there and resolved issues in relation to Turkey's initial resistance to certain countries joining NATO? The Blue Mosque is one of Turkey's most magnificent buildings, with an incredible blue-tiled roof, while the Hagia Sophia is a major cultural landmark and has served as a church and a mosque in its lifetime. During her visit, Harry's wife chose to stay at Soho House, Istanbul. So she may well have visited, and of course probably on a freebie, courtesy of chum Marcus Anderson, on the basis of, you write about it and get us some publicity. Soho House, Istanbul, a members' club and hotel with 87 rooms. The incredible hotel also boats, I think you mean boasts, 2 rooftop pools, and each room has its own rainforest shower. While the Duchess's choice of accommodation might be out of budget for many Brits, yes. So first of all, she's saying it's affordable, but where she stays isn't for you little people, because remember, she's the Duchess of Importance and you're scum. There are many reasonably priced hotels in Istanbul. Yes, get thee to a Premier Inn. Turkish food is world famous, and tourists should indulge with a typical Turkish breakfast of eggs, yoghurt, cheese and breads. Yes, nobody's had that anywhere else, have they? And again, that suggests that she hasn't actually indulged in a Turkish breakfast, because if she had, she'd be far more specific about what the preparation and types of food are. As Harry's wife recommends, Turkish desserts are delicious. Wow, that's insightful. And Istanbul has many shops selling baklava. No fucking shit. The country, which is currently enduring a difficult economic spell and has a struggling currency, is considered one of the best value holiday destinations in the United Kingdom. It recently came top in a new study comparing the cost of the likes of eggs, milk, a cappuccino, beer, dinner for 2, petrol and the exchange rate. The study from Saxo Markets found that despite the nation's inflation rate increasing 343% over the past year, Turkey still has some of the lowest costs of holiday essentials. With the beer coming in at an average price of £1.66 and dinner for two at around £14, it's well worth adding the country to your list of budget-friendly spots for the summer. This publication was brought to you by The Mirror, courtesy of Visit Turkey and Harry's wife's The Tig. All of this is just a blatant puff piece, and they continue. Each and every day they are being spewed out as Harry's wife fights to assert control over the readership as the downward spiral continues to suck her in that downward direction. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.